Hey everyone, it's Jason Dunn here from Digital Home Thoughts, and today we are looking at the Panasonic Lumix TS1. So that's this little orange camera right here. So this is a shockproof and waterproof camera. It's a 12 megapixel point and shoot camera. Now I've already done an unboxing and first impressions video of this camera, so I'm just going to talk about what it's like to use day to day. I frankly don't have a ton to say about this camera, and here's why. It does everything that you would expect it to do, and it does it pretty well. So, in terms of what it's like as a regular digital camera, it is pretty much exactly what you would expect. So it's a 12 megapixel camera. It takes entirely average pictures. They're not fantastic, but they're not awful. You know, it's your everyday kind of point and shoot camera. But the cool thing about it is, of course, it's shockproof and waterproof. So my wife actually carries this around in the diaper bag for my son. And the reason why is that this is something that I can give it to her. It can get bumped around, it can get knocked, it can get dropped. Now, normally when I drop stuff, you guys freak out, but of course this is a shockproof camera, so I can drop things, I can drop this camera, and it's going to be totally fine. So we'll just power it up here. So just like all other Panasonic cameras, it's really easy to use. I mean, if you've ever used a Panasonic camera before, all of their menu systems are very, very similar. I mean, you can force it, you know, you can go into macro mode, you can turn on the flash, you can force the flash to be on, even if it's a bright day outside. You can force the flash to be off, even if it's it's dark, you know. You can also do slow sync and red eye reduction. So basically, I just give this to my wife, and we just sort of leave it entirely on auto, and it works pretty well. It's got some different, you know, scene modes up here, so you can do like there's like a snow mode, there's like a fast action mode, but I mean this camera has very, very few manual controls, right? And when you're using it, now there are these different scene modes, and frankly, I don't even really screw around with them. Like, for the most part, I just put the camera in this intelligent auto, point and take a picture, right? And that's really about it. Now, how does this camera work in terms of underwater? Because of course that's really what makes it interesting, right? I took this camera to the pool. Oh, there's a picture of my son. Oh, look at him growing up. So I took this camera to the pool, and I actually used it underwater. And this is the first camera I've ever had that has been an underwater camera. Oh, isn't he cute? This is the first camera I've ever had that has had underwater, you know, functionality. And so when I first took this camera in there, I was actually protecting it, like I was keeping it out of the water because I was a little bit nervous. I'm like, oh, I can't get this thing wet. And then I was like, oh wait, of course this is an underwater camera. So I took it, you know, dunked it under the water. I was taking pictures underwater. In fact, talking about pictures, right now as I'm talking, I'm going to put up a few of the images that I took underwater. I just did these, like, you know, purely for testing purposes, right? So there's an image here of underwater without the flash, and then with the flash, and then there's a picture of my wife's foot. Actually, you can see her tattoo on her foot without the flash, and then with flash. So with the flash, when you take off the flash, or when you fire the flash rather, it adds sort of some general fill to the picture, and it can definitely help with the quality as long as the water isn't too murky. If there's a lot of stuff floating in the water, which of course would be kind of gross at a public pool, but if you're outside, you're in the ocean or something, or you're shooting in a lake and there's any silt or dirt in the water, when you fire the flash, it's going to hit all that crap in the water, and you're going to basically sort of obscure what you're actually trying to shoot. So using a flash is really only recommended in fairly clear water situations. Now, this is my first underwater camera. I am by no means an expert on underwater photography. In fact, I know pretty much jack and nothing. So, yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Now, it also shoots video, right? So basically, you can you power it on, and actually, I should point out that's one of the things. You kind of have to hold the power button down for like an extra second, and then it will, of course, power up. Now, I think that may just be because it's like a rugged camera. They don't want any, quick button pushes to be able to turn on the power. So once once you get used to that, totally normal. You can also shoot video, right? So I'll just put something here. You press the record button, and away you go. You're shooting video. It did take me a little while to get used to this being the zoom function. So you kind of have to press it to the right, and then it'll zoom in. But it shoots video really well. 720p video. So it's nothing to write home about. But again, it's an underwater camera. It's a point and shoot camera, and so the quality you get is pretty much the quality that you would expect. Like I said, I use this for my son's first swimming / floating lessons. I mean, he's just a little baby, so they don't really swim. But I use it. I captured video. I captured a bunch of pictures. It was lots and lots of fun to be able to take a camera, get it, dunk it under the water, snap pictures. I can toss the camera to my wife if I drop it, and it hits the bottom. It's totally fine. And one of the reasons why, of course, is that it has seals around everything. So this red rubber here, in fact, that's one of the things that you want to do before you take it in the camera. You actually want to double check that the seals are okay and that you get a really nice, snug fit along the bottom here. It does have a tripod mount. I don't know why you would use a tripod. Maybe you use a tripod underwater. Not really too sure. But yeah, so that's basically what I think about the TS1. Now, the TS2 has actually been announced by Panasonic, and in a quick look at the specs, I actually didn't see anything that made me really think that the TS2 had any significant advantages over the TS1. I'm frankly not 100% sure what the differences are. It may use a slightly different sensor, but overall, the TS1 and the TS2 are really similar. The TS2 doesn't offer 1080p video or anything that's kind of crazily improved over the TS1. So what do I think of the TS1? I think if you're looking for a shockproof, underwater camera, a camera that you can take to the pool, to the beach, a camera, maybe that you can give your kids to use, something that, can kind of take a beating, I think the TS1 is a really good choice. I bought it in the funky orange color. As you can see, that it comes in a couple different colors and there's a couple different options. It is a really good camera. I will point out one last thing. And that is that if you want to shoot 720p video, you want to make sure that you have a fast enough card. So I think it was a class 2, or maybe it was even a class 4, but it was like a Patriot class 4, some kind of not such a great brand. And it actually kept giving me errors. It kept saying that the card wasn't fast enough to shoot video. So I would recommend probably a class 6 card so that you're able to shoot video without any problems. But yeah, other than that one little glitch, I've had no problem using this camera. It takes completely average point and shoot pictures, but for the price, it's not very expensive, and you can take it anywhere. You can take it underwater. You can kind of be rough with it, and it keeps going. It's a really nice camera, and I definitely recommend it. So this has been Jason Dunn from Digital Home Thoughts. Thanks for watching. Please rate the video, post a comment, and subscribe to our channel.